and he didn't make it, man. Can you imagine a cat destroying what's that, Empire State Building? And he didn't build it? You take a cat, the average cat, tell him, you got a job to destroy that building down there. Go destroy it and see what happened to him. That's why I am on Atomic Bomb. When the cat think he made that and can destroy life. I mean, the inside of life that comes from you living and breathing, thinking, and not ever knowing what caused it first, and not supposed to know till you go back and have to do it all over again like you've been doing. And that's why you're so contained, too. You've done it millions of times, Nance. Bird, too. Man, I know, man. I know you've been here. I know, man. Certain people I feel they've been here. It's not they're not supposed to run and rush back to death because they know there's life.
Yes.
It's you help to educate this whole scene here. This is one of these things out in space I believe that's maybe way behind time. As far as here's my final thing on God. God, if God was singular, he was a lonely being. They said there's one God. Well, he's pretty lonely. And I think he split himself up, so to speak, and made lots of people with all kinds of various ideas to communicate. And so you had to sit and rub his body and say, oh man, all by myself. And then by having you over here and even the gangsters, everybody thinking so wrong, that's him. And he got to figure it out himself. You dig it? Like this big invisible source is us. Yes. Now, the spirit of him is in every one of us. We can ignore it, or we can be completely blind to it. We can be killers and murderers, but it's still there. There's the divine source of creation. In Hog Calling Blues, I have to be honest, I tied that mainly because of what I heard. This is a case where a man in the band was so strong, you mind me telling you, Roland Kirk, that he put his entire personality to my music, and I went with him.
Yes.
It became rock and roll. I said, well, man, I'm going there too. Yeah, I did with him. Well, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's something that Max Roach used to say every time that he get those things and not going to clubs and hollering you heard about. Well, say in print, say the time that Max feel an inability to express his inner emotions. He says, well, Mingus, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This is the way it should be, And I just copped the title. And as a little thing to match, Eat That Chicken was as I said, well, sure I've heard Fats, but I never heard Jerry Lee Martin in person. Maybe I did in the Union one time. He came by and gave a lecture, but I don't remember him playing. I was trying to capture only what I heard him do once, Fats, and because of Martin Williams, making me realize that if people go back in classical music and trace the old composers, that maybe before you can really be considered modern, you should be able to go back and do what those cats did.
Yeah.
It's not too hard for me because I haven't really been that far removed anyway. I've been accused of being very far removed. I don't think so. I don't think even on it is. I hear so much folk music that he's playing. It's ridiculous. I don't think he's modern.
Man.
I wish that these people would stop, get rid of that word. They call him weird and all. He's not weird. If they listen here, he's not weird. He's playing music, man.
I know. And it's music full of roots.
It is,
it's
man.
Very traditional.
Every day, man.
That's the way it sounds to me. It's very traditional.
Yeah,
music,
man, it is. And man, what they're confronted with is the man, really, he's got his own sound and tone. He ain't playing like Bird. They're so used to hearing everybody sound the same. Eat That Chicken, I say, really why I used to announce it as being a piece that Fats Waller wrote. What I really was, the truth is, I like to think he wrote it.
Yes.
Because in England, I've heard some symphonies he wrote. And I summed up all the things he did as a clown, as a protest after I found what a serious musician he was.
Yes. And
got a chance to do some of these things in England. And also had a degree from Juilliard, which I didn't know. And to be a classical composer and also an organist. And was not able to get fair employment, let's say, in the wider field of music. Say the full scope of music, not just in clubs.
Yes.
So he decided to pull his hat and go and make as much as he could, and he made $1 million or so, I imagine. And I was thinking about maybe I'd like to make $1 million too when I did it. No. And I think I told you about Passions of a Man. I think everybody that's creative is a ham. When you really get down to it, a person, not really is creative. He's an actor.
Yes.
The mood or something. Unless I say you can make what. Remember I said the thing I'm trying to make is the ultimate expression of the true thing that I see. and which I say I'm trying, or else I would think I would say I meant it. I'm trying to make that now in this age I'm in now. But a man is trying to react something he thought before, and recapturing called creativity. He's a ham actor, and this is in school I studied dramatics, and I've always wanted to do something like this because I can change my voice. Hello, Nesuhi, how are you? By Joe, but all the things. In fact, I was jealous when Philly Joe got his out.
Yeah.
We used to do that together. Johnny Holo's boy, old chap there. We talked, to each other, the things like that. Except he did one on Dracula, which I never tried Dracula. But I had many voices, man, and I was even this day. I made a mistake and put the earphone on both ears, and I couldn't hear what I was doing. But I liked it so much, I got through. I decided to leave it that way, and then make another one.
But it's kind of very different from the rest of the album, isn't it? I mean, that piece is kind of apart.
Yes, if it hadn't been for you, everything I've done would have been like this. In fact, I'd have been out somewhere else right now. But you went back. If you check with Pithy Counselors Erectors, that was, I think that, I have to say Duke, because I read this on the back of my album, and he said, years ago in the 30s, I'm trying to play music to introduce people to the music that I like to play for them. And I've got to start somewhere way back someplace.
Yes.
And John Lewis has said this,
yes.
Very simple to get them to do this. Most of my non-success is that I kept starting way up somewhere, close to it, but never what I really believe, like the Roots, like Fats and people like this, which I really do and have been raised around. And if that didn't work, I'd go back further. And finally, this album seems to go all the way back there and come up to...
So it has the two extremes.
Yeah.
It goes from one end of the track.
It sure does, man.
It goes from one extreme to the other.
And I've always wanted to use voice, too, man.
In a way, it's like the story of your life.
Yeah,
kind of.
it is. You got it. It is.
It has the whole span.
Except someday I'm going to have me a big band to record with. But only when I merit it, man. See, you got to make enough bread to record. I don't want to cause you some bread that they wouldn't pay for. But
I'm sure that
I've been wanting to do a big band date for you, man, because no big bands are playing it. See, no big band, excuse me, man, bass playing the same. Now, even he must have thought of something else, but the conventions keep him there. Ray Charles changes. Even he changes since I've heard him before.
Yes.
He changes now. I'm not trying to say because you haven't got him anymore. But I've heard changing his voice.
Yes.
Now, Duke admits he stopped because they couldn't seem to accomplish what he's trying to say. But when Dizzy got his band, Dizzy spoke to me and said he wanted me to write some things. And his band broke up. Not this last one, the first big band. It's something he started doing there. If you remember, what was that called? No, it's all tempo. It's what John Lewis and what's called Third Stream.
Yes.
Diz did one right over this big band.
Are you talking about the one with Johnny Richards? Is that one?
No, some young kid did this. Some new cat.
Oh, Lalo Schifrin.
Yes.
Yes.
Where's he from?
Argentina.
Yeah, well, I heard this man.
Educated in France,
Yeah.
in Argentina.
Yeah,
He went
I thought he was
to
a
the
French composer.
conservatory.
I thought he was a French composer. Wait,
Yeah.
I heard.
Well,
Well,
his education is French.
nah, I was like, well, I got nothing like that. But yet I used to write like that. When I heard this cat, I said, man, George Handy?
Yes.
Man, we used to do things and meet and say, man, how the heck you gonna write this? And I met you and it's so similar. He used to be a good booster of mine. Johnny Roberts even tried to help me on that in California. When I tried to write for big band.
Who did?
Johnny
Richards.
Richards, yes. Was only band, Sonny Burke was gonna do something and the band broke up. Remember that band?
Yeah.
He had some of my
Yes.
pieces.
Yeah.
I still have them around, but that's not it either. It's something that gave me the idea. It's blues and roots. Gave me the idea. This is big band music, man. Like the one horn, now that's the reed section.
Yes.
You dig it?